Welcome, another IMEX, here we are. How's the show been for you the last couple of days?
We always enjoy coming to IMEX. There's so much going on around it. So, we were involved in sessions on Sunday with different associations, then again on Monday, and then they hit the show floor on the Tuesday and Wednesday, and off we go. It's been busy, but we know it's going to be busy, and we get ready for that.
Yeah, and obviously your own show, AIM. How was the event for you this year? See, you had record numbers, obviously being there myself. Yeah.
We did, and thank you. AIM 24 was fantastic. We did have record numbers. We're more than 200 exhibitors up on last year. Great visitor numbers, and we got very strong survey results and net promoter score, and all of the things that tell us we're going in the right direction. But of course, any good show it's never an end. It's always a journey. And so we're busy looking, and we love coming to IMEX because we just see what else is happening in Europe and in the US, that we can see what we should be considering for the Asia Pacific region.
Yeah, obviously as an exhibition organizer, you run other events apart from AIM. So what's the exhibition market like in Australia right now?
The exhibition market's been running hot sort of since. We always used 19 as a comparison because it was obviously pre-COVID. We've got to stop that because we're well past that. 23 was better than 19. Sorry, 24 was 23 is better than 19. 24 is just setting new records. So, look, it's not across the board. So if you're in retail, the market can be a bit soft. But by and large, the sectors that are going off, power, energy, all of those things, the good shows are getting stronger. And we saw it with AIM this year. The meetings industry is back. And people are very keen to be able to find new products, and so we've seen growth of it accordingly.
Yeah, you said it's stronger now, but have the needs and changed dramatically? Have they changed a lot since COVID?
I don't think so. I think we have changed, that we realise that it's not just build and they will come. So we've worked out. We always knew it, but I suppose if you go back when we were thinking about pre-COVID. We were always under threat from digital, or we thought we were under threat from digital. Of course, COVID proved that digital had its own limitations. But we've also realised that we can't take our visitors for granted, nor the exhibitors. But exhibitors you talk to much more on a one-to-one basis. Visitors you market to more generally. But we've really, and I think we as an industry, not just we as Talk2 Media, are starting to work much more closely with our visitors and curating the content for them so they get real value for the time that they invest in coming to the shows. And that's what's standing us in good stead, because as we do it and we get more engaged, they become more comfortable with the time they're spending at the event.
And on a sustainability level, then obviously there's a bigger demand on that side to be more sustainable. How are you bringing in those kind of measures in to make sure that your event is as green as possible?
So I think there is always that risk of greenwashing. So at AIM I was asked whether we were net carbon zero, and I pointed out that we just joined the net carbon zero movement, but we've got until 2050 to get there. And I think that the idea of just spending some money to buy some carbon credits is useful, but it's not the answer. So we're working hard on what the answers are. So we work closely with the venue around food. We know the large chunk is air travel. We're supporting the sustainable aviation fuel movement and working out how we as an industry can become more involved in that. But it is a journey, and it's a long one. So it's very incremental. So AIM this year we printed nothing. We recycled so much. So it's baby steps, but that all sounds so kind of motherhood that we've got to be careful that we don't just say, yeah, we're doing it and ticking a box. We're trying to really work out how we do things, and that's complex.
And is it quite different, AIM quite different to your other events in that field, the demand for sustainability, or do you finding?
Yes, I think the meetings industry in general is much more aware of the carbon footprint that we have. Other shows, because they're more localized, actually in the scheme of things, some of the shows we do a show in Melbourne for Melbourne and so forth. So there isn't the travel. So it's a much more localized event. But even those, we've stopped single-use plastics. We're doing all of the things that we can to ensure that we reduce our footprint.
And what's next? What do you think? Where do you think the events industry goes from here? I mean, 24, it's
upwards, I think, and I don't just say it because I want it to. There's no signs of it slowing down. The competition is growing. So, you know, in Australia, all the venues have had refurbs over the last decade. I think Perth is the next one to come, and that's likely to happen. You look in the region, and there's a lot of activity in the region. So the whole of Asia Pacific, there's venues, there's new suppliers. Technology is being embraced, but technology is being embraced to complement what we do, not to compete with what we do. And I think we're all more comfortable with that as well. So no, I see it really as just growing, and you know, the world's all our oyster still.
Fantastic. And in terms of going forward, you know, any other events on your pipeline at all, or are you just going to see you stable with the ones you have?
Look, we're really focused on AIM, funnily enough, and to really grow AIM. We think we've still got a ways to go, and it's not necessarily by having, you know, another 200 exhibitors or another 2,000 visitors or whatever it may be. It's actually making sure that that show is a go-to show, and people trust it that it will deliver them results. And so we take that task. We don't take it lightly, and we're really pushing for that. So, you know, in truth, we've got a list of other events. We run 6 good food and wine shows, and there's a lot of passion sits in that as well. And so the portfolios of AIM and then the good food and wine is sufficient for me at the time.
Yeah, and the competitive landscape's increased slightly with the meeting show in IBTM Asia Pacific next year. Do you think what do you think they will do to AIM at all? Do you think there'll be any impact, or?
Well, I think inevitably. I mean, competition is good. You know, the meeting show ran this year. IBTM is going to run next year. I mean, the thing I'm starting to question is, you know, AIM is established and people know it's on the calendar and they come. I.M.I.C.E is established and they know it's on the calendar and they will come. I don't know whether either the meeting show or IBTM have yet really established whether people want to be there as well. So not just the exhibitors, but also the buyers. The buyers know that they can be with us in February at the beginning of the year before they really get busy, and they know that I.M.I.C.E is a go-to event. Do they need anything in between, and do they need 2 events in between? I think that's going to take some time to wash out.
So does that change your thought patterns for next year, how you target the industry, or try to do something a little bit different?
I think we've worked out that if we stick to our knitting and do what we can to the best, which is what I was saying, that focusing in on making sure that we give good reasons for people to attend the show, then they will continue to come. If we create a lousy show, then they don't come and they go somewhere else. So we can only focus on what we can control. And so we're working really hard on making AIM the go-to show.
Fantastic. That's a great show, so I'm looking forward to next year, that's for sure.
Well, we're looking forward to having you there too.
As always, but yeah, thank you for joining, mate, to give us a bit of an update from your side and what's going on, and wish you a safe flight home.